We like to give you deep steel blue pills here, and I felt like I gave you quite a bit in that last segment. Texans were out at training camp practice number 5. They were in full pads. They're wearing those H-Town blue T-shirts. Available for an affordable price at the Houston Texans team store. And
I say, what do you think? That's like $39.99?
Probably more than that. Honestly, that might be $50. But hey, if they're comfortable, they're comfortable. CJ Stroud and Stephon Diggs have a connection. There's a new leader in the room. I mean, the hype is there. Had a national reporter out there, Evan Washburn. God, that man's hair is impressive. Especially to be able to stay the way that it stays through the rain. Good job by you, Evan Washburn. I need to know what kind of product you're using. It's the TV product, whatever that is.
Fancy product.
It works. But, we do give you deep steel blue pills. Occasionally, we got to red pill you. Occasionally, we have to give you something that makes you see what you perhaps don't want to see. And we finally have somebody else who doesn't believe in your Houston Texans winning the AFC South.
Heretics dare to question the Houston Texans' greatness.
How dare you?
Is it bullshit?
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Or will you take this battle red pill?
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Nate Davis of the USA Today made predictions for the 2024 season before pretty much anybody out there. Good for you. You can call first. In the AFC South, Joe, he does not have the Houston Texans. He has the Indianapolis Colts winning the division at 11-6.
Woo! It's a lot of wins.
Worse, he doesn't have the Houston Texans in second place in the AFC South or even making the playoffs. He has the Jacksonville Jaguars at 10-7. Being the second team to make the playoffs out of the AFC as a 6th seed. He has the Texans going 9-8. His rationale, after talking about all the additions they made, yet sophomore slumps happen too. Unfamiliar expectations can become overwhelming. And a team that finished one game ahead of the injury-riddled Colts and Jags in 23 must now play a first-place schedule, which also projects as the AFC's South's hardest in 2024. One that includes 3 consecutive division winners from last season coming out of a Week 14 bye. That Week 14 bye sucks. Progression, regression, stay tuned. But the latter must be considered in equal measure with the former. I don't disagree with anything he said there, as much as I want to disagree with everything that he said there. I don't think the Jaguars will be ahead of the Texans, though. I think it's between Houston and Indianapolis for the South.
Yeah, I don't believe the Texans will finish 3rd in the division. I do believe they're going to win it. I understand the argument of why they're not going to. The schedule is daunting. And if they don't have the division essentially secured by the bye week, it's going to be really challenging. Because you might go 0-3 versus the Dolphins, Chiefs, and Ravens coming out of the bye. At best, you go 1-2. Even if the Texans exceed all expectations this year, the idea that you're going to beat both Kansas City and Baltimore in back-to-back weeks, it's just not realistic. And it's not even back-to-back weeks. It's within 4 days. You play on Saturday and on Wednesday.
Yeah, you got totally screwed by the schedule.
Yeah, that is the toughest stretch in anyone's schedule in the NFL.
The Ravens have a pretty tough stretch as well, because I think that they also have Kansas City in that stretch. I could be wrong off the top of my head. Everyone that's having that, there's 3 teams that are doing that 3 games in 10 days stuff.
Yeah, they play. See, they got the Giants, the Steelers, and then the Texans ending on Christmas. So there's a little more. Oh, it's so weird to look at a schedule and it says TV and it says Netflix.
That is bizarre.
That's still so bizarre to see.
Maybe it was Kansas City that had the other tough one. Yeah, that's actually a lot more.
Yeah,
favorable.
Kansas City has a pretty. I think theirs is pretty tough, but. Yeah, they go Cleveland, Houston, Pittsburgh.
Okay, so the Texans have the toughest.
Yeah, and look, it's part of the schedule. It's the way it's going to play out. I don't remember who the NFC teams are playing on Christmas or who the Ravens are who is the other team
So
playing on Christmas.
sacrilegious.
But it's the reality of the Texans season that they have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL on paper right now. A lot can change. A lot.
The Texans better get me a Christmas present for all the the deep steel blue pilling I've been doing to everybody here. I'm winning the fan base back single-handedly.
We're trying. But, you play Indianapolis, who, if Anthony Richardson's healthy, they're going to be a good football team this year.
Yeah.
You're going to at least play
Minshew
in
stunk
week
last
one.
year, and they were good.
Like, you're at least going to get in week 1. Who knows what you're going to have by week 8 if he'll be there. You do play the New York Jets this year, who actually hurt they've hurt your strength of schedule because they didn't have a good record last year. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, that roster is good. Who knows what Halloween's going to look like when you play that team.
And the Jets beat you last year.
And
they're kicking your ass before CJ Stroud got hurt.
Yeah.
With Zach Wilson on the center.
So you've got a lot of tough stuff, like tough games. Yes, you play 3 rookie quarterbacks, maybe in the first 6 weeks. Like you might get Sam Darnold week 3, not JJ McCarthy. Today, the New England Patriots said that Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback that's ready. And so
Super Bowl, watch out.
Jacoby Brissett week 6 instead of
Super
Drake
Bowl
May.
champion.
Here we come. Oh, the Texans better watch out. Jacoby Brissett with the New England Patriots. Remember that game?
And with the Colts.
Well, it was Jacoby Brissett with the Texans facing Jacoby Brissett had like a 40-yard touchdown run in a 16-0 victory over the Texans, and I want to say, was that 2016?
Yeah,
and
it was the year Brady was.
The year Brady was wrongfully suspended.
He's been good against the Texans for, I think, in Cleveland, Indianapolis, and in New England.
You're right.
For some reason, Jacoby Brissett.
Low-key Texans killer.
Biggest Texans killer on their schedule in 2024.
Yeah. Patriots are going 17-0, guys. Just want you to hear it first.
17?
Jacoby Brissett. They're going to, you know what? They didn't get the 19 that one time. They're going to get 20.
They're going to get 20 this year?
Heard it here first, baby. 20-0 with Jacoby Brissett.
Once again, I think you said it backwards. I think you mean 0-20. They're going to lose all 3 preseason games, and then the next.
No.
And then the next.
Hang on.
Regular season
They're
games.
going to be preseason champs, baby. We're going to go 3-0 in the preseason.
That's a more attainable goal.
Slightly
like
more
winning the
attainable.
Summer League championship.
Shout out to Reed Shepard, by the way, Summer League MVP.
Hey, let's go, Reed.
All Summer League team.
Oh, my bad.
Have they named the MVP yet?
Yeah, I think it was a guy from Pro.
Oh, what the hell? That's racist. They don't want to give a white guy the Summer League MVP. That's what it is. It's woke country of ours. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh yeah,
I disagree with Nate Davis, but this is going to start happening more. The Texans have been hyped up. We talked about this a lot. The Texans have been hyped up all offseason. Mm-hmm. You're going to start to see people switch it up. DJ, now it's Nate.
Here's another question, not necessarily a zag. This is from Mike Jones of The Athletic. Who? Mike Jones. What's the number? I can't remember it off the top of my head.
281-330-8004.
Thank you, Sean Maves. Keeping us.
I earned my stripes right there.
Keeping us transplants honest. We do have to get back to things that make you an honorary Houstonian after you've been a transplant in the past. Mike Jones writes, can CJ Stroud avoid the sophomore slump? Last season, quarterback CJ Stroud delivered one of the most impressive rookie campaigns in NFL history. His efforts helped the Texans win the AFC South and reach the playoffs. Now, he'll be expected to further elevate his game and his team. Stroud and the Texans won't be able to sneak up on anyone. Rival coordinators have spent the offseason scheming on ways to contain him. Stroud and offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick must find ways to remain a step ahead of the competition. Questions remain about the Texans' offensive line quality, but the franchise has invested in wide receivers and defensive playmakers. Can Stroud do his part to keep the ascension going? I feel like you should mention Stephon Diggs when you say add wide receivers. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, CJ Stroud and Bobby Slowick, maybe in that spot right there, they were not staying ahead of the competition, but you know who was? 6-time Super Bowl champion Nick Caserio.
I don't believe in the sophomore slump that often. It does happen, but
I'm with you. I think it's thrown out, but it's thrown out as something that is not that always happens every single year, if that makes sense. Like, I think people say, like, well, there's the chance that you could have a sophomore slump. And sure, it happens, but there's no way to really predict it. It's not something you expect either. It's sort of just like a gut feeling of water finding its level.
Yeah, and just a lot of times it's also the quality of the player It's not a sophomore slump either. It's a we got this wrong. Baker Mayfield, we got it wrong. Baker Mayfield had an incredible rookie year. He wasn't good the next year. Sam Bradford, also incredible rookie year. Wasn't just a good quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not, I feel like most times it's not so much your sophomore slump, it's that you're awesome as a rookie.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, water kind of found its level. And, who you are your sophomore year going forward is kind of more who you are than the rookie year. So, yeah, it's less of a slump. It also is just something, I don't know. It's a, what is the contrarian view that I can have, or not contrarian view, but what's the downside of CJ Stroud?
Sophomore slump.
Yeah, and it's just sophomore slump. There's not because like you said, there's nothing tangible to a sophomore slump. It never comes with he's gonna have a sophomore slump because it's always
right.
Might have a sophomore slump.
Jeremy Pena is brought up by King of Twitch.
It's a great point.
It happens. Mac Jones had one.
But see, also just sucks.
Right. Look at Mac Jones shirtless.
He's the backup quarterback for Trevor Lawrence.
I don't hate the fat shame. I was right in my feeling. I remember when they picked him in the first year happened. I was like, yeah, but he's I'm faster than him. Come on.
Jeremy Pena is a great example
Brady.
in sports where he was not good in year 2 and then he was absolutely incredible. But Mac Jones is not a sophomore slump. He's just not a good quarterback. King of Twitch then brings up Dameon Pierce. We'll see.
I can say Jalen Petrie too. Look, yes, guys have sophomore slumps, but it's not something that's predictive.
Yes.
It just happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, you know who didn't have a sophomore slump? Lamar Jackson. He went out and won the MVP. There's so many guys that don't have a sophomore slump.
CJ Stroud does not strike me as someone who's going to have a sophomore slump. CJ Stroud might not be as efficient as he was last year and might turn the football over a little bit more. But the idea of Stroud having a sophomore slump after what we saw out of him last year, his pocket presence, his accuracy downfield, his aggressiveness throwing the football downfield, his ability to extend plays when he needs to, and on top of that, a rapport that he created with wide receivers that were considered the worst receiving group in the NFL going into the year. The idea of a sophomore slump, to me, is far-fetched. Okay? Is that enough? Cool. I know the Twitch loves hating on the Houston Texans for whatever reason. I get it. There's been a lot of bad years. Clearly, you didn't watch it all last year. Let's start watching if we're going to contribute to the conversation.
Yeah, for CJ to have a sophomore slump, his touchdown total would stay around the same, about 23, and the interceptions would go from 5 to closer to 15. You're not seeing the increase in touchdowns, but the increase in interceptions has gone up dramatically. They've continued to fail in the red zone and short yardage situation. I just don't see that. His interception total is going to be much higher this year. I also expect him to throw nearly 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right? That's fair. What do you say? At least 35.
You know what Bill Belichick says? Stats are for losers, the final scores for winners.
Touche. I can't disagree with that. I can't. If Bill Belichick said it, it's right.
What I always feel like is on predicting the numbers. I don't really know what to say, because every single game, as Brock Osweiler says, is its own story. So
we can debate that. Quoting Brock Osweiler has less weight than quoting Bill Belichick.
Well, listen, just the yin, the yang, right? 40 would be awesome. Is it the expectation?
No. Like 32 and above.
It's weird because it's very difficult, I think, to predict who's going to have the most touchdown passes in a given year. I mean, you would think it would be Patrick Mahomes every single season. He's usually up there towards the top, but
he was down last year because they changed the style.
If you're betting on the weapons that Stroud has and betting on the Texans to throw the football a lot more than they ran the ball last year, then Stroud should lead the NFL or be close to the top of the NFL in a lot of major passing categories. But if you watched last year and the amount of times that the Texans run the football, especially in situations where they probably shouldn't have, given that the running game sucked last year, you could see why maybe those numbers don't end up being what we all want them to be. But we shall see.